Hey everyone, this is the next example in correlation for timing, entries and exits. So I'm doing a daily 4-hour setup here. The group is the Canadian dollar group. This is the pop or the breach. That's the pullback and that's the trade. So pop, pullback, trade. Pop, pullback, trade. This one is in a range. Eventually that is the trade, but it's a laggard, so we can't trade that one, but we can use it for correlation. And this one is the pop, laggard on the pop. It's much later than all the other ones. A very short pullback, and that's the trade. Pop, pullback, trade, and pop, pullback, trade. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Now let's go down to the 4 hours and we'll take it from there. Okay, so here we are on the trading time frame, the 4 hours. If I move my indicator to look at the pop, we can see that it's roughly always in the same place. You can see that in some pairs it starts a little earlier than others. Notably pound CAD went a lot earlier. But it is all part of the same move. There's just some time difference there, some leaders, some laggers. However, we're just only going to look at the pullback, so let's have a look at the first one. Use the CAD. Okay, so here we are, pullback coming in, pullback coming in, pullback coming in. Sellers doing their job, sellers doing their, sellers not doing their job. Double bottom. Okay, are the buyers back? Is that our V formation? Maybe it is. Okay, let's see. We had a first test phase. Second test comes ultra deep, big rejection. I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to see if I can draw this whole thing as my V and this as my test 1 and that as my test 2. Because at this moment I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see what the other pairs are doing right at this moment. Okay, let's open this one up. So pullback coming in aggressively too. Price just keeps on holding. Oh, is that a V formation here? Maybe it is. Let's see, do we have a test phase? Price just keeps on going higher. Not higher than that spike though. And there comes another test. I think that one was the first test. That would be the second test because we've seen this thing on the other pair as well, right? Let's stop there. See if that timing is the same. Yeah, exactly the same timing. Okay. Then next pair. No pullback yet. Pullback coming in. Oh. Price just going straight back up. What is this? Is it a V formation already? I'm not sure. Price crashes again. Price comes right back up. I'm not sure what to think of this. Is that the first failure, a second failure that creates a V formation as well? So that's a V after a V, and that's our first test, second test, and that's it. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the time here. See where it is related to the others. Okay, if we move a little bit further here, do we get the same kind of rejection? Okay, so it looks like I was too early in drawing the V here. So let me undo the V and the test. That's the V, because that's lining up with that V and that V as well. That's our first test, and there's our second test. Okay. So now next one. This one is the one that was in a range. It's already not making any sense. So let's keep it like this, not go full screen. V, just like the others, same time as well. Was that a first test? We're not going to get a second one? Oh, we get that same blast down. Same blast down. Okay. Then next one. can actually just keep going like this. We don't have to go full screen. Okay, pullback coming in. Pullback coming in. The others had already made a V at this point. This one, sort of, but this is a lot lower than this, right? So something's wrong here. I'm not liking this very much. Let's see if it does the same kind of test. It does the same kind of test. That would be first one, second one, right there. Okay, let's hold it there. And this one, CAD Swiss franc. Pullback coming in. Is that our V formation now? After this whole pullback, can't go any higher. V formation. Maybe. Not sure, but the others are telling us that those all have V formations. So just like this one we weren't so sure, this one we're not so sure either, but we are using the correlation. First test. We're getting that second test as well, that deep one. Second test, we're getting it too. Okay. And on the final pair, CAD yen. Pullback coming in. Grinding on its way up. Not sure if that's a V. Could be. The other pairs are telling us. So again, another pair where we're not sure about the V. Now let's see how the test comes in. We had a first test here. Second aggressive test. So that's 2, and that was the first test. Okay, so it looks like now there's a lot of sync, and this actually really goes into the next lesson as well, which is, I'm doing it off the top of my head, I think it's called correlation pattern or structure or something like that. Anyway, I know what the actual next lesson is, but I'm not sure about the title, so I didn't do my homework properly. But yeah, this really goes into what Naveen will explain in that lesson too. So I try not to go too much into it, but it's quite similar. So what do we have here for the entry on this one? This would be a really good entry time, right? This one can enter, but it's a little bit high, isn't it? This one can enter, but it's quite high. This one, not gonna enter. This one is a mess. I'm not gonna trade that. This one can enter. It's slightly high, not so great, but not bad either. This one quite low, can enter, but quite low, so would be a very big stop loss. Not sure if there's enough risk to reward. And here, this one is looking quite nice, I think. So let's assume we enter at this point. Okay, this one starts to go and go straight to the bottom. Let's start from the top left where you are go to use the CAD next. Oh, this one nearly stopped us out if we had stops below here. And then it starts to go. There's another opportunity to get in here. Go straight to the recent highs. This one doesn't really come back down, goes straight to the recent high as far as I can see. Well, we'll cover exits in a bit. This one actually does a stop hunt, comes lower again. Okay, that's not good. But it was very unlikely we would have traded that one anyway, right? Because price was so high. So that kept us safe. This one, oh, very deep stop hunting too. Could have stopped us out with the spread, who knows. And then it went higher. But well, again, repeat, we wouldn't trade this anyway. I'm just imagining on all of these I would be in there. But finally new highs. So we can use this one for the exits. This one, fairly deep test, but not too deep that it would have stopped us out. And then it goes. This one, not a deep test at all after those two tests. And then it just drops like a brick. And that one we already covered it. So I hope it makes sense how you can use correlation for your entries here. I hope I didn't go over it too fast. I tried to go a little bit faster than on the other example videos, and I don't want to spend too much time on gauging momentum and seeing if it's the correct V formation and everything. They are correct for the record here, but I don't want to spend too much time on explaining why it's correct, because that's something from the MPA lessons. So yeah, if you think that's how fast I do my analysis, that's not correct. It takes me a lot longer. But the point here is the correlation. Okay, so now let's have a look at the exits. Let's start with this one. Recent high. Well, I'd say this would actually already be an interesting exit zone. But if you decide to get in later on this second set of tests, then yeah, obviously around here is an area of interest. Price has bounced around here, so definitely a good exit. Okay. Next is EuroCAD. Yeah, recent high here makes a lot of sense. You don't have to add anything to that. I think that's clear. This one, yeah, recent high also. Notice that at this point you should have noticed that we're also in a range even before getting in on this. So even if you survive this massacre, this very deep massacre, which is quite unlikely, we are in a range and we were trying to trade from the middle of the range. So something to note. But yeah, as I said, I don't want to go too much into other parts of the courses. This one, exit would be around here. If it goes further at the same time before the others reach their target, then obviously this is a very, very logical area to get out. So there. Next up, I think this makes a lot of sense. Just push it slightly higher than this area, so let's draw the circle there. If you want to wait for a candle close before you get out, or you want to wait and see what the next candle does. Next one, very logical area around here, so maybe around there when price comes again, or around here if you want to wait for a candle close. And then finally the last pair, Canadian dollar yen. Yeah, this does seem to be a little bit of support here, so an exit around here or at the ultimate low does make sense. Okay, so let's see at our exits. We had an exit here on USD CAD, which lines up with an exit on Euro CAD, which doesn't line up with an exit on Pound CAD. In fact, Pound CAD is still very low there. And it also lines up with an exit on Aussie CAD, an exit on New Zealand CAD, an exit on CAD Swiss franc, and an exit on CAD yen. I think we found the optimal place to get out based on what the other pairs are doing here. Most of them, apart from Pound CAD, are lining up to do the same thing here. So I think it's quite clear. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed these extra examples in this lesson, and looking forward to hear what you guys think. And I'm gonna work on the examples for next lesson. And as I said, next lesson is quite similar to this, or rather I already mentioned some things that are going to be discussed in that next lesson. So I'm curious to see if you're going to pick it up faster, what Naveen is going to explain there. Alright, see you guys later.